Alright guys, this is going to be part 2 of the 2M build that I'm doing for my N-scale P-Vine sub. And this is going to be the warehouse build, and this building is going to be 120 feet long and 24 feet tall, and it will have 2 loading doors here, and then on the front wall it will also have 2 garage doors, not as much as a loading, just more like a access or whatever. But anyhow, as you can see, I already started doing my supports for the roof and for the base and for the connection to the front wall and to the back wall, if I want to attach it to. This is going to be a standalone building, but will butt up to the building I did in the first part of the series. Anyhow, what we're going to do now is put that one on the side, because that was pretty much done. This is going to be completed. This is going to be another one video build, but I'm also going to complete it on my live stream tonight. Today is the 21st of September, and my live stream tonight is where I'll be completing this. So I'm basically starting it now and going to complete it later on today. So what we're going to do now is to cut these 3 doors out, and I'm going to save cutting these 2 doors out for tonight's show, to show people how I do it there. So with that being said, I'm going to use my trusty nibbler, excuse me, and we're going to commence cutting these doors out. And I think I showed you guys how this works. Let's see, I got to try and get you in the screen at the same time. I think that might do it right there. But anyhow, as you can see, I have 2 12 by 12 doors. I know it's upside down. And 1 people door. So all those doors are going to get cut out right now. Excuse me. Then we'll put all the supports in here, and then I'm actually going to paint this today. So tonight when I put it together, you'll get an idea of what the completed building is going to look like. So here we go. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got all 3 holes cut out on this side wall that we're going to be using. And I did mention earlier that the length of this wall was 120 feet. How I got to the 120 feet is a 6-inch wide piece of styrene is 80 feet in end scale. So I added a 3-inch extension on here. And what I did was I just laminated it with a piece of styrene in the backside. Now, when this is painted, you won't ever see that joint, and the reason for that is because what I did was, when I cut this piece out, I made sure that I had the factory edge on both pieces, so when you put it together, it's almost seamless. Anyhow, what we're going to do next is we're going to start adding all the supports down here on the bottom. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and start with that. And I'm going to be using this number 177 for my pieces down here. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got all the bottom supports done, so if I want to glue this down to foundation, I have a good gluing surface. The next thing we're going to do is the upper section here, which is the roof section, and we're going to go, no, actually what we'll do is we'll put the two uprights first, and then we'll do the roof section, because I know these uprights have to be cut. Alright, now that we have our corner pieces on, we can go ahead and lay the roof support in here. And that's about as far as we're going to go for this part of the build, because we're going to finish this up on my live stream tonight. So if you guys want to see how it ends, just join me there. But we'll finish doing all the supports in this video, and then we'll continue on later on tonight. Right there. And what about this guy? Go. Alright, with these two pieces in here, we should be finished with this part of the build, and we'll just wait for tonight to finish it up. I will have this painted, so you guys will know when I put it next to the building that it actually will work together. So, until later on tonight, which is 8 o'clock Eastern time, tune into my live stream, and you'll see this building get finished. I will be recording it at the same time, so that's going to be the first time for me to be doing that. But we'll see how it works out. Who knows, that might be a disaster. Anyhow, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, plastic I used for the first part of the build and this plastic, two different stores, two different states actually, and they both were a little, this one was warped, but not quite as bad as the other one, so it should come out pretty straight and flat, which it looks like it is. So anyhow, I got my two side walls complete and ready for the front wall, which is this guy right here. And as you can see, I got two doors to cut out on that. We're going to cut those out on my live stream this evening, and then we'll continue on with this build. Anyhow, talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and cut the doors out on this. I'm going to move my camera down here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Alright, and so we're going to commence doing this. Now this is a real nifty tool, and someone asked me today, where did they get this? Well, like I said, first of all, it was a gift from Eric, but I believe you can get it on Amazon, and it's called a nipper or a nibbler, one or the other. So basically, you just put it in there. There's a little blade right inside of here, and when you squeeze the handle, it pulls down, and it cuts in there. So I already got my line, so we're going to go ahead and start cutting this door out and see what we look like. Now sometimes it may take a little bit. You want to make sure you stay on your lines. Alright, so that's one side right there, and now we just continue on the opposite side and make sure we stay on the line. Now these doors may have to be sanded down because these are pre-made doors that I'm putting in here, and I believe they were from Microengineering, if I'm not mistaken. So now we have what looks like that. Now we just take our tool, put it in here like that, and we'll just, oops. Gotta make sure I get it all the way up to the line there. Okay, now these are the doors that I am going to be putting in there, and they are Microengineering, and I believe they're 8 foot tall, 12 foot wide, and they come in from the back. So let's see if the hole is big enough, or it's too big, or did I mess up, or what. Okay, apparently we're not big enough, which is a good thing because you could always make it bigger, you can't make it smaller. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get my sanding stick and we're going to go ahead and sand it down. See if we can get this door to fit in this hole. And we need to go a bit more, and also we gotta the height is good, but the width is not, so we need to still sand it down some more. And like I said, it's always better to go smaller because you can make it bigger, but you can't make it smaller if you make it oversized. So we'll just keep working at this until we get it to fit in there. It shouldn't be too much longer. I'm not going to waste too much time trying to get this door to fit in here. What I'm going to do is I'll cut the other one out, and then we'll assemble the building. I can always sand those out a little bit once the building is together. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and cut the other door out. So, now that I've got the door, this door hole, it's a little crooked. I'm going to have to see if I can straighten that out. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to put this together. Because I can always sand the doors, the holes out to make it a little bit bigger. Anyhow, the front wall goes over the side walls. That's the way I do it. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the way you have to do it, but that's the way I do it. So we're going to go ahead and turn this bit here. Get my glue. I'll start assembling this guy. Now what I did was course, we're not going to have a back wall on here. I'm going to need something to support it. So I got these 2 pieces of styrene strips that I'm going to be putting down here. It should be the exact width of the front wall, and that'll keep me keep my back from collapsing in on itself. Okay, Jason, that's a good question. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. I am using an evergreen product, and it's called Novelty Siding, and the number is 4083. It's 6-inch by 12-inch sheet, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got a real nice metal siding type view to it. Can see that. I'm having problems with my camera tonight. I don't know what's going on. So anyhow, let this dry up a bit. Did anybody see Roy Hardwick in here tonight yet? George Gillian, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you here. Scott, I said hello to. Who else I said hello to? Website. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that. Roy's not here yet. Okay. Thank you. Andy Deutsch, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you in here again. Either you have nothing to do tonight, or you like what I'm doing. Yeah, it's really nice. I stumbled upon this by accident, and I was using regular metal siding for this, but this actually looks better. So I decided to use for this build, and if you look at the picture in the video that I did today, if you look at the picture I put in there, the siding is exactly the same. So anyhow, now that we're giving this a little bit of time to dry up, what we're going to do is we're going to put this piece down here on the bottom and secure it, and then we have another piece that's going to go across the top. We're going to secure it. So with that being said, I'm thinking it's looking pretty rectangular to me. I just got to clean up those doors in the front, but I won't do this tonight. I just wanted to get this main structure completed so you guys can see what it's going to look like. And I wish Roy was here, because Union Central Systems, how you doing, buddy? Indian Head Wilma, how's it going? Lance, how's it going? Paul, how's it doing? Also, I'm getting a whole bunch of new guys in here. 48 people in here. Come on, guys. What happened? I'm supposed to have my 60, remember? 60? 60 is the goal. Alright, so now that that's pretty much together, I can show you what this is going to look like. Of course, you won't get to feel the full impact of it until the roof is on there. But I should turn it around the other way so you guys can see it. Makes sense that way, right? And so that's what this is going to look like. Was that a Roy? Thank you, Roy. That's not square. That's what? That's not square. Oh, correct. That did make sense, Roy. Can you explain what you're trying to say there? Oh, and by the way, Roy, I did put the door on the side. It was a pain in the butt to do because I had to cut my support out here, and I couldn't get my tool on the inside. I had to do it from the outside, so I'm even lucky it came out straight. But anyhow, this is my version of it, Roy. So don't, like I said earlier in my video, don't get all freaked out. I do have a place I'm going to put it, which will be facing in the right direction, and all that kind of stuff. And it's unfortunately not where I want it to be, but since you're so adamant about having it facing and oriented the same way, I'm going to put it back in the corner. Let's see if I can show you guys. Hold on. Let's see if you can see this back here. Sorry about the camera moving, but it's going to go way back there in the corner. And that way I can orient it correctly the way you want it, so you can unload in the street like you say you wanted to do. Alright? So there you go. Anyhow, so this is what it's going to look like. I need to turn this around to my camera so my camera can see that. And that's going to be what it's like. And let me zoom out of this a little bit. And that's the build, guys. This is 2M Company. Roy can explain what they do. Yep, that's it. Alright, talk to you guys later. Alright guys, just one thing I always try to do on all my builds is to measure from corner to corner to see how square or rectangular I get my builds. And so this one is going to be no different. I did the same thing with the other half of this build. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in. I'm going to try and zoom you guys in to actually see the measurement. And I'm doing this in the metric scale because it's a lot easier to read. Okay, according to what I see here, and I'll try and zoom you guys in, see if I can get you into a closest shot of it, 245 millimeters. You can see that right there. So now we'll go ahead and do the other side, and we'll see what we got. Alright, so go ahead and put the ruler on the other side, and now I'll have to turn this around so you guys be able to see it. And oops. Alright, well that'll be good enough for you guys to be able to see that. Alright, so now we go to the other opposite corners. I think you can see that also, 245 millimeters. So I'm pretty happy with the results of this build so far. Seems like everything is coming out exactly the way I'm building it. So the next thing for me to do is to take it out to the garage and spray it so I can get the this relief wall the same color as the outside. Also, I need to do some touch up on the front where the doors are, because I kind of messed up the paint while I was working on it, and then just basically just touch up everything with the paint. So when that's done, I'll bring it back. I also have a roof for it, cut out of the same material that my roof of the other building was cut from. Anyhow, let me go and do that, and we'll bring you back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, what you're looking at now is the completed build, part 2 of 2M Company. This is the warehouse, and as you can see, I've got 2 doors. One is 15 by 15, one is 12 by 15. The roll-up housing, I just use half round. That's a Teachy group door. And we'll turn around here. We got our 2 doors in here, and these I believe were micro engineering doors. They had a kit at one time with doors and windows. The back side has nothing there, and then you got the big hole in the back that butts up to the other building. Anyhow, this was a fun build, and Roy, I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to put it in a spot, and I'm going to show you where it's going to be living on my layout. So if you guys stay tuned for a little bit, I'll go get everything and hook everything up, and we'll see how it looks. Be back in a few. Alright guys, what you're looking at now is 2M Company in its proper position. The road that is directly in front of it is 19th Avenue, and the road that goes up the street, I'm not 100% sure what that might be. Roy will probably tell me when he sees this video. But anyhow, that's where it's going to be sitting, so everything is prototypically correct as far as where he's going to load and unload, and that's his old truck sitting in there. But usually he'd be out on the street unloading that pipe load that he's got on there. Anyhow, hope you guys and gals enjoyed watching this build. It was fun for me to do. And Roy, I'm glad that I did this build so it fills up a little bit more real estate on my layout. Anyhow, as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.